I was literally gonna make this video like months ago, and it has now been 7 months since I moved to New York. Whatever, who fucking cares? Anyway, I moved to New York in the middle of a pandemic, and people are probably, I know they are because they have told me, and honestly, I don't blame them. I think the same thing of myself sometimes, like what? Are you sure? What? But I will say, it is the best decision I have ever made for myself. I am a happier, mentally healthier person than I have been in years. If you are looking for something to tell you to take a risk and give you permission to do it and move, or get yourself out of situation, or do something for yourself that you know is going to make you a better person and be happier, fucking do it. Do it. After what I did, I moved here in September 1st, 2020, and I cannot suggest it enough. I cannot support you enough to do it. Best choice I have ever made. Best choice I have ever made. Scary, because COVID. But anyway, we'll get into that. I have been planning on moving to New York for a long time, maybe a little bit less than a year before the pandemic hit, and literally, so I was saving money, and right before the pandemic hit, I signed a lease. Luckily, I was in a place that I wasn't intending on moving for another 6 months anyway, and already found a subletter. The subletter that I found, she didn't even end up coming here because of COVID, but she paid her monthly rent as a subletter. I don't know what I would have done if she didn't do that. She is a saint, an angel. Also, luckily for me, the people I signed a lease with, I lived with one of them already in college, and the other one I knew from college as well. So it was nice to be comfortable knowing the people, knowing that they had my back and would keep me updated, and just, I don't know, I feel like I would have been in a different situation if I were just, one, moving on my own, or two, moving in with complete strangers. So really, truly everything lined up, but I had to figure out everything else. I moved from Oklahoma, but my parents are in Wisconsin. I spent most of the summer when quarantine was happening at my parents in Wisconsin. I was working remotely for the company I had in Oklahoma, which I'm very lucky that they let me do that. But while I was there, I was figuring out a lot of stuff, and saving money, and stimulus checks went in my savings account with my loan payments that were deferred savings. I came up, I think at the end of it, right before I moved in September, I came up with a total of $5,000, $6,000, and that was me saving up money since December. And it wasn't enough. It was not enough. It maybe lasted me 2 months, and it was just gone. Money-wise now, I have been temping since November with a company called Forest. I've also been freelancing, so I help people with their social media and graphic design. In combination, those things have gotten me by. There have definitely been months where things are super tight and I am a little stressed out, thinking, how am I gonna pay the bills? Where's my money going to come from? But it has always worked out. It has always worked out, and I always see people talking about, there's something about New York where, I'm like a broken record, that everything works out and needs to. You figure it out. The city just like blesses you with opportunities when you need it most, and that has happened for me every single time. Other things, how did I even get all of my stuff here? I was going back and forth on whether or not I should drive my stuff here. My parents, bless them, were gonna come with me and then drive back. I made the decision that that was stupid at the time in September to have my parents risk coming to New York and going back. I was already taking the risk coming here. So I made the decision to also take a risk and fly. I brought a couple of suitcases. I have a cat, she came with me. Everything else I shipped by freight. Luckily, my mom's job has freight shipping that I could use. So freight shipping basically is just a cheaper way to ship a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously my situation was a little bit different, but I know one option for shipping freight is through Amtrak, and I've seen a few people move things by freight through Amtrak and have had good experiences. Freight shipping is just a more cost-effective way to send things, especially if you're moving. You have so much. I got rid of a lot, but I still had a lot of things that I needed here in New York, and I already spent a lot of money freight shipping. I can't imagine how much more I would have spent if I just went to UPS or FedEx and just kind of like went up to the counter and shipped it that way. I probably saved hundreds of dollars. Some other weird things I had to take care of with moving to New York was my car. I bought it 3 years ago and I'm still making payments on it. Unfortunately, I am in a place where I can't sell it. For what it's worth, I can't sell it yet. I still owe way too much on my loan. It's getting there. But it made things a little more complicated, but luckily my parents in Wisconsin live in the country. They have a bunch of yard space where my car can just sit there, and I know that they'll drive it every once in a while to make sure it's still operating. But I'm also paying for auto insurance. It's really cheap. What I did is, since I was moving from Oklahoma, but my car is in Wisconsin, I changed my Oklahoma license and registration for my car to Wisconsin. That way, it also makes, whenever I can sell my car, it's going to make it so much easier to change the registration, because the person who's going to be buying that car, whoever it is, they're going to be from Wisconsin, and the process to change registration from state to state is a little more complicated, and it's different for every state. So that's another reason why I did that. So if you have a car, for now it works. It's a solution, and it's been getting me by until I can just get rid of my car. If you're looking to move to New York anytime soon, or just in general, of course, I had a very different experience. I had an apartment with people I knew that fell into my lap. A good resource is Street Easy. It's kind of the go-to apartment finder for New York City that everybody has told me about to look at. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, DM me. I cannot recommend this enough. If you are thinking about it and something in your gut is telling you that you need to get out, you need to change something, you need to move, do it. Start planning now. Think about little things that you can do every single day to get you to that point, because I am so much better than I have ever been. And of course, moving does not fix all your problems, and there are a lot of things that I still am working on and still need to work on, but I am now in a space where I can work on that and be okay. Where I was incapacitated. I couldn't. I was just trying to get by. Sending you so much love. Thanks for watching.